So there's two draft classes back to back. I thought let's compare them. I do think one of them, they both have some superstars. I'd say top, maybe two of the top people are top 5 players now. But let's see if one outweighs the other. This has been Strictly Ball Business.
Strictly Ball Business.
Strictly Ball Business.
I like that video.
Balls. Shit.
2017 and the 2018 draft class. All right, so let's look at it now. I mean, let's run down. 2018 has guys like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, SGA, Michael Porter Jr., who just got back, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., Robert Williams, Jalen Brunson. All right, and Anthony Simons is in that draft. Colin Sexton, this Wendell Carter Jr. This is pretty good. Gary Trent Jr. And then we follow to Kevin Huerter, Dante, some role players. All right, so that was 2018. So I think that's already a solid draft class. Top 10 are guys, considerable all-star type guys, right? So then 2017, Jason Tatum. This is my Fultz draft, but Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, solid start there. Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, Jonathan Isaac. Why is he's not that high in this? OG Anunoby, Lonzo Ball, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, who's pretty great now. Jared Allen.
Yeah.
And then they got guys like Derek Wright, Monte Morris. So I do think it's pretty clear that I do think 2018 is better, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're close in terms of the top talent.
Yep.
Because like if 2017 didn't have Jason Tatum, it wouldn't be close. But Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell and Bam Adebayo, like that's a pretty solid trio, along with Fox and Collins, I like as well. But ultimately, 2018, I think would beat both of them because Trae Young's excellent.
Yep.
SGA continues to grow and is looking like an absolute stud this year. Really kicking myself for not finding a way to draft him in fantasy. Luka, we know, is gonna arguably be the best player in the league. A lot of people will see for different years.
Yep.
I don't know. Kind of depends on how you'll view the league, but eventually he'll win a championship and everybody will continue to fawn over him. And DeAndre Ayton, at least gives you a great big man to step up against Bam. So yeah, I'd probably go 2018 as well. It's interesting though how like different the draft classes feel. I don't know how to describe it, but
yeah,
they definitely feel like different types of guys. And we started to see some player movement on that 2017 side. And I think you give it another year and you're going to see some movement on that 2018 side. It's usually that 5-year mark where these guys really cut bait with either their team or the team cut bait with them for whatever reason. Who do you think's leaving?
Definitely.
DeAndre Ayton, right?
Yeah, probably DeAndre Ayton. You look at it, it's kind of funny. 2018 is very offense heavy. You get DeAndre Ayton, who's gotten better at defense. Michael Porter Jr. You get guys like Luka, Trae Young, SGA. He started off playing really good defense, but now he's the first scoring option. So you get super offensive guys on 2018, but in 2017 you get defensive guys. You get Bam, you get Jalen. Jason, you get Donovan Mitchell, OG Anunoby, Isaac, if he ever plays an NBA game. It's basically just an author, Alonzo Ball. So I feel like 2017 is a lot of defense. But here's the real question. So let's build these a starting 5 from each team, and let's see if you had to compare the starting 5s, who would win. All right, so let's start with 2017. So
okay, so 2017, obviously Jason Tatum's in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and he's probably Bam's probably the center. Donovan Mitchell's shooting guard. Lonzo Ball's the point guard. Oh, Fox at point. Then probably OG's probably
John.
3.
Or
OG.
Who's at the 4?
I'd say OG over John Collins. I think Anunoby is a better player than John Collins.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose.
So OG at small forward. We'll say Jason Tatum at power forward. Bam at center. And then Donovan Mitchell at SG. And then Fox. All right. Then let's go over 2018. So obviously Ayton's the center. I'm going to say Trey's the point guard. And I'll put Luka at 2. Which you could really put Luka 1 through 3, but we'll see how it fits. Luka, I mean, let's put Luka at the 3, and then SGA at the 2. If that's cool, if that makes sense.
Luka at the 3.
He's 6'8". Like he played.
Yeah.
That's what he was drafted.
No,
as
that's
as a wing.
fine. Like you gotta have those 3 in there because they're all excellent.
Yeah, Ayton, and then
then
Michael Porter
MPJ.
Jr. Yeah, MPJ.
Well, who else would be possibly there? What about Jaren Jackson as a defender?
Jaren Jackson, Mikal. I mean, if we're saying the best 5, it depends.
Maybe
I mean, if we're,
Mikal's probably the best defender, honestly, to put in there because really missing a lot of defense.
yeah, but I mean, who's the better overall player, Jaren Jackson or Michael Porter? That's kind of what I'm getting into. Is we're just taking the 5.
What
best
about
players.
Mikal Bridges?
Yeah,
Michael Porter or Mikal Bridges? I honestly would maybe argue Bridges because I don't know. Do you think MPJ is definitively better than Bridges?
no. With injuries aside, I think he's a better player. But if I take injuries into how I consider it, and so I'd say Mikal. That's fine, Mikal there. So which of these teams would win?
All right.
Would win?
What do you
Would you take? I think.
Wait, repeat the lineups back to me.
If this was a team, which would you say is win? Which starting 5's winning a game? You know, it would be a pretty insane offense. 2018 would be with Trey and Luka there. SGA is gonna be just cool. But the defense, I'm gonna take offense. I'm gonna say 2018 is gonna win. In this NBA, defense can't stop everything, and I think there's certainly not enough shooting on 2017 side here. So I'm gonna take Trey, SGA, Luka. I think they're gonna win.
I think ultimately there's so much offense on both sides that like defense would not really matter too much. I think Bam could help out certainly, but I mean him and Ayton are pretty comparable. I mean, I don't know how they've matched up 1-on-1, but I mean, is Bam head and shoulders above Ayton? Maybe he is. Maybe I'm a little naive in that comparison, but I feel like the guys around Ayton could help out at least.
Yeah, you could make an argument, like looking at 2017 here, you could make an argument that like there's more winners on that starting 5. I mean, minus honestly. Fox, Donovan Mitchell's been in the playoffs every year. OG's been in the playoffs. Has the Raptors been in the playoffs? Either way,
he was on the championship team.
Yeah, he's great. Jason Tatum, we know he's definitely a winner, and Bam, the Heat have been winners. So you can say, and Luka, the Mavs struggled for a while, the Hawks struggled for a while. SGA's still on granted, it's not all these players' fault, but they're on bad teams. Mikal Bridges is one. Ayton has obviously been with him and won on the Suns. So I would say I would still give the edge to 2018, but it's not like it's an easy pick. I mean, 2018 has all these great guys, so.
Yeah, 2017 does ultimately have a lot of winners. I'm gonna say I think I forgot to mention that earlier, but like Mitchell's like been in the playoffs since year 1 because he was so good. He brought them there. How many rookies can you say that do that for their team? I mean, that's basically what he did. Yeah, they also had, I'm sure, Gobert year 1 too, but Mitchell was the leading scorer. Like, he was their offense, and sure, he had some other decent scores around it, but ultimately, he came in, and everybody was, like, immediately, within the first week, like, oh, crap. Who the heck is this guy? We apparently missed him on the scouting report. Like, so whoever passed on him in the draft, they were just like, the first day he came out, played NBA, they're like, fuck, we messed it up.
Think about that every day. I'm like, we have Jonathan Isaac. We could have fucking had Donovan Mitchell. And the 76ers are probably killing themselves because they got Fultz, which, granted, we didn't draft Fultz number 1 overall, but that was probably the worst.
Oh, my God.
Even though I love Fultz.
Mitchell was on the Sixers by now, they probably would have won a championship.
Probably would. Yeah.
Had a better chance.
It would have been funny because Ben Simmons still would have been on that team. But these are the teams. Which draft class do you think you got? Which one? Comment that below. We want to hear it. Did we miss somebody? Who would you swap out in any of these starting 5s? Let us know below.
that's a wrap for us, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. We love talking about basketball, and you love listening to us. So it's a match made in heaven.